My brother took my college fund. Now he wants me to fund his startup. Bank app said transfer complete. Name was his. No warning. I showed up. He smirked, said, "You'll thank me one day." I dropped out, worked nights, slept in a church basement. No word for years. Yesterday he called. Pitch deck ready. I said, "Send it to the guy who stole my future," then blocked him. The bank notification came through during chem class. Transfer complete. 38,112.76. I blinked, thought it was a glitch, but the account number? It was mine. The receiving account? It wasn't. I checked it again. I'd been refreshing that screen every day since my acceptance letter to Stanford. That fund was everything. Birthday money since I was 10, graduation checks, hours worked at the grocery store down the block, and that one surprise deposit my grandmother left in her will. Now it was gone. I left class without saying a word. Drove back home with the engine humming like it knew something I didn't. My hands shook the entire time. He was there. My older brother, the one with the podcast and the 1,000 ideas. The one Mom always said had a vision. He opened the door like he was expecting me. "You're welcome," he said. I didn't speak. He tilted his head. "You were never going to make it there anyway. Don't lie to yourself." I stared at him, hoping he'd blink first. He didn't. "I moved it to a safer place," he added. "An investment. For both of us." That was the first time I realized what betrayal could taste like. Dry, metallic, like blood, but in your lungs. He hadn't just stolen my future. He'd made sure I'd never afford to rebuild it. I didn't scream. I didn't fight. That came later. Right then, I just walked out the door like I'd left the stove on. My mother was sitting in the kitchen, stirring tea like she hadn't heard a thing. "He told me you'd overreact," she said, not looking up. I wanted to ask why she didn't stop him, why she didn't call, why the woman who had driven me to every tutoring session and cried at my scholarship letters was suddenly defending theft. Instead, I asked, "Did Dad know?" She paused, stirred slower. "He said maybe it was for the best," she replied. That was the last time I called this house home. I didn't drop out, not immediately. I tried to stay, took out student loans, picked up shifts at a 24-hour diner, slept in the library with a sweatshirt over my face and a spiral notebook for a pillow. But it wasn't enough. Stanford didn't wait for sob stories. The bills came. The second notices. The holds on my account. I left before they could formally kick me out. I packed what little I had and called 3 people. None picked up. Not even the one I thought I'd marry. Not even my best friend since 6th grade. Eventually, I stopped calling anyone. I spent that winter in a church basement downtown. It was cold, but the pastor left the lights on and gave me half a peanut butter sandwich most nights. The cot was thin. The shame was thicker. I'd stare at the ceiling and whisper numbers to myself. SAT score, GPA, the sum I'd saved, how many feet I'd fallen in a year. They say rock bottom feels like an impact. They're wrong. Rock bottom is a slow dissolve. You don't hit it. You become it. One night, I walked by a bookstore with a "Help Wanted" sign. I walked in, lied about my address, and got hired. Minimum wage, late hours, no benefits. But I could sit. I could read. And for the first time in weeks, someone said, "Thanks," when I locked up. That job didn't save me. It didn't fix what was broken, but it gave me breath. And a little breath is more than a lot of people ever get. 3 years passed like that. Quiet. No calls. No "how are you?" Not even a birthday message from Mom. I worked. Paid rent on a closet-sized apartment. Ate rice and eggs most nights. And learned how to disappear in plain sight. Then, last Tuesday, My phone rang. Unknown number. Against my better judgment, I picked up. A voice I hadn't heard in years. "Hey, bro. I've got something big. I want to bring you in early." I didn't reply. He went on. "It's a startup. We're building something crazy. You'll love the pitch. You were always the smart one." I didn't hang up. I waited, then said, "Send it to the guy who stole my future," and hung up. Then blocked the number. The pitch still came. 3 days later. Not a call, not an apology, just an email. Subject line, "Let's change the world together." Attachment, a 12-slide PowerPoint, logo. Mission statement, user metrics from fake accounts. A photo of my brother in front of a whiteboard with half-erased diagrams and the word disrupt in bold red. He CC'd 2 venture guys, both with @gmail.com addresses. No salutation, no acknowledgement, just, "Would love to have your brain and maybe a small round if you're liquid. Let's build something real, no hard feelings. We were kids." I closed it, then reopened it, then stared at it for 40 minutes straight. It wasn't the arrogance that got me. It wasn't the "no hard feelings." Like we'd had a little sibling spat instead of him gutting my life and walking away. It was the assumption, the quiet confidence that I hadn't changed, that I was still reachable, still stupid, still willing to set myself on fire just to keep his house warm. I didn't reply, but I didn't delete it either. I printed it out, every slide, pinned them on the wall of my apartment right above my bed, like crime scene photos. Then I got to work. It had taken 3 years to make peace with obscurity, but under that peace something had been fermenting. A drive, a quiet anger, a knowledge that even if no one ever gave me a shot, I'd find my own door. I worked days at the bookstore. Nights I took freelance coding gigs. Ghost wrote 2 tech blogs under someone else's name. Built my own portfolio. Wrote the kind of clean, boring code that big companies drooled over. I didn't sleep much. Didn't need to. The hunger was enough. By the time the pitch arrived, I was already 2 interviews deep at a firm that didn't give a damn where you went to school, only what you shipped. I got the offer a week later, double what I thought I'd make, remote, full benefits, and a signing bonus that covered 3 years of missed birthday cards. I didn't tell anyone, didn't post about it, didn't need to, but I did one thing. I printed the offer letter and taped it right below his pitch deck. Underlined one line in red. "You were always the smart one." I saw him again a month later. Not planned, just fate being petty. He was coming out of a WeWork in Midtown, wearing that same blazer from the day he stole my fund. Same haircut. Same smile. He didn't see me at first. Then he did. Paused. Waved. I didn't wave back. He jogged over like we were long-lost twins. "Man, it's been forever. You look good." I didn't answer. He pointed to the folder in my hand. "Investor packet?" I shook my head. "Employment contract." He nodded, eyes scanning, pretending not to be trying to read. "That's great. Listen, I'm doing a second round. Real money this time. I know the last message was maybe a little." I stepped closer. "You emptied my future for your first round." He blinked. "Your startup," I said. "It's a name on a pitch deck and an ego that still thinks it deserves oxygen." He laughed, but it cracked. "I was a kid, man. I panicked. I didn't know what I was doing." "You still don't," I said. "But now you're broke, and I'm not." Then I walked. Didn't look back. Didn't need to. Because some people need you to validate their mirror. And the best revenge is walking by with your reflection intact. The letter came in a floral envelope. No return address. The handwriting was careful. Too careful. Like she practiced it 3 times before setting pen to paper. Inside, 1 page, 4 paragraphs. a soft perfume I recognized from Sunday mornings and fights about curfew. I miss you. I don't know how things got this bad. He's your brother. Can we talk? I read it twice, then a third time, and then I laughed. Not loud, not bitter. Just a dry exhale through my nose. 3 years of silence. No visits. No texts. Nothing when I dropped out. Nothing when I sent Christmas cards that came back unopened. Nothing when I slept in that basement 4 blocks from her neighborhood. But now that he was failing, now she remembered she had 2 sons? I didn't write back. She came in person the next week. I heard the knock and knew it was her before I even looked. Mothers have a rhythm, a code in the sound. I opened the door. She stood with a casserole dish and that tight little smile she wore to funerals and fundraisers. I didn't know where else to go, she said. I leaned against the frame. You went to him first. Her eyes flickered. He's in trouble. The startup's collapsing. He used his credit. His fiancée left. It's a lot. I didn't blink. She tried again. He says you blocked him. I did. Maybe you can help him figure it out, like old times. I laughed again, still dry, still empty. There were no old times. There was me funding a dream and you all watching the robbery. She stepped forward. I stepped back. I cooked, she said, lifting the dish. I eat better now. She stood there a long time, then asked the thing she came to ask. Do you think you'll ever forgive him? I didn't answer, not because I didn't have one, but because forgiveness isn't something you owe to someone who never asked for it. She left the dish on my step, walked away slow, shoulders small, like shrinking might make her invisible. I watched her turn the corner, then picked up the dish and placed it in the trash unopened. 2 days later, I got a LinkedIn message from a recruiter. We loved your repo. Would you be open to a CTO conversation? I sat with that for a while. CTO. 3 letters I used to dream of when I still believed in futures. I took the call. It went well. Then I got another message, this time from my brother, from a burner account, 1 sentence. You really couldn't spare anything? Not even a contact? No, hi. No, sorry. Just a hand reaching for one more thing. I left it on seen. And I didn't feel guilty, because some bridges don't burn. They evaporate. The idea came one night, somewhere between insomnia and calculation. Not revenge, not really. Something colder, something cleaner. I was staring at a spreadsheet, my savings, my projections, tax brackets, lines and numbers that meant nothing to anyone except the kid who once counted coins for bus fare. And that's when I realized what I wanted to do. What I had to do. Not for him, not for her. For the next version of me. I built the site in 3 days. Simple design. Soft colors. No names, just the Second Chance Fund. A single line underneath. For students whose futures were stolen by the people they trusted most. It went live on a Tuesday. No press, no launch party. Just a Reddit post in a student loan support group and a quiet donation from my own account, $10,000 to start. The first application came in within an hour, a girl in Oregon. Her dad gambled her tuition. She was waitressing, living out of her car. I read her story, all of it. Then wired her the money. No questions, no interviews, no promises. Just a future, handed back. The second came from a boy in Georgia. His uncle forged his FAFSA. Gone. Vanished. I helped him too. By the end of the week, I'd funded 4 lives. The stories kept coming. They weren't all dramatic. Some were quiet, messy, real. A cousin borrowed the account. A parent remarried and changed the will. A brother hacked a phone while drunk. Same headline, different blood. They called it charity. It wasn't. It was correction. One line in one world that didn't end in theft. My brother tried again, this time through our aunt. She called to say he was rebuilding, said he was sober, that he had a prototype and a friend in VC. I didn't ask. She said he wanted to meet. I said I couldn't. Too many people were depending on me. Too many kids with nowhere left to go. She said, "You're still angry." I said, "No, I'm busy." I spoke at a conference 6 months later. Not because I wanted to, because one of the students I helped asked me to. She called me the man who made space for the forgotten. I talked for 11 minutes, told them nothing about me, just about the pattern, about how the deepest cuts don't come from strangers. They come from inside the house. Afterwards, a man approached me. Nice suit, tired eyes. He said, "You remind me of someone I wronged." I said, "Then do better." He nodded, left a check, 5 zeros. I used it to pay off a girl's med school year. She sent me a photo months later. Scrubs, her name on a door. It wasn't mine, but it meant something. Last week I got another email. No subject line, just a sentence. "I'm sorry." No name, but I knew. I didn't respond. Just read it once, then archived it. Not deleted, not forgiven. Just no longer necessary, because some victories don't scream, they exhale. And this one did. Quiet, steady, like breath after drowning, like silence after war, like freedom.